All right, and the stream is starting now, so now I can say that exact same joke for greater effect. All right, so welcome back to the world of Father Flame. Last where we left off, you delved through several large caverns filled with dead kobolds, collapsed ceilings, dead rat, or not dead rats, now dead rats, but rats of all various kinds and other critters, to explore where this poisonous magical mist is coming from. You've arrived at what appears to be the last room with the kobolds, which had a small library with perhaps lead kobold, where you found 2 mysterious books, and in the next room you found a fairly decent-sized lake with what looks like support pillars and a large hole in the ground that is slowly sucking the water into it and leading down and below. You also found, beyond the waterfall, another opening leading deeper into the ground, into a very narrow passageway somewhere further in, and you are trying to figure out what to do from here on out. The fog itself appears to be coming somewhere from the waterfall. It does not appear to be originating in this lake, but this lake does appear to be contaminated in some fashion.
Gross.
Question, where is this other path? I don't see it on the map. Am I? No,
you can't really see it. It's hard to do holes in the wall at the same time as holes down. So,
okay.
Yeah.
I see the hole going down.
Yeah.
But,
it's basically
that's in a lake.
Yeah, it's basically over the lake where this hole is sucking water in. There's another one just like 10 feet above it and into the wall.
Oh, okay.
All right, so that's where we're going to pick up, where we are, and by all means.
Where do you guys want to go?
Well, I'm not going to go swimming in the hole. That's crazy.
I will say that your helmets, they do provide you oxygen, so you would be able to swim down.
Do we know how much more of a charge is left on our helmets?
Because you spent 8 hours resting for the long rest, the first charge has expired, so you have 2 more full charges on these helmets.
Okay.
So, are you guys actually contemplating going down into the water, into that hole?
My recommendation's still the same. Go beyond the water flow.
I don't remember what your recommendation was from last week. You're not here.
It's in the chat, but I just said it. Beyond the water flow.
Oh, go through the tunnel.
Not, but through. Yeah.
Like the above ground tunnel, or whatever. Not through the water. Yeah, I would say that too. Diving into the water doesn't sound like a good idea.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So the entryway is very, very narrow. So you will be able to only go one at a time. And you will need to make me some checks to try to crawl into it and basically wedge yourself in it as the water rushes over you. So first off, because this is in the water, effectively, do you want to put on and activate the helmets for charge number 2, or do you want to try to hold your breath?
Right there. Like, I'm not walking through there without my helmet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So you don't have to literally activate the helmets because they do count as an item, and they will basically take off your armor putting it on because D&D doesn't like head slot items in how Foundry works. So don't worry about that. So I will need all of you to make me an athletics roll as you try to get under the water flow and then crawl up the side and into this narrow entryway into another area.
Do I still have to crawl if I'm like 2 feet tall?
Yes, you still have to crawl into it. Because of where the entryway is, you have to climb up to it and then kind of pull your way inside. You can't walk in it. It's still very narrow. You might be able to be like on your knees and elbows to get through it, but it's still a very small passage. You have by far the most room in there, except perhaps for Shrade, but since he's not here, you know.
Okay, you need to pause it, I think.
Yes. There isn't an actual passage that you need to do in game. I will basically load into the next scene once you guys start making rolls.
Is your guys' bar showing up?
No, that's why I thought it's because it was.
Hang on. Sorry. Before I forget, I did make some changes, so you should only see the health bar. If you right-click on yourself, it should show you not only the movement speed, but armor class and perception, passive perception. So it should be a little different.
Understood, the bar for skills, saves, all that stuff, it's all gone.
Is it? Oh, hang on. Did I turn that off without noticing?
I think you might have.
Wow,
I just
that's...
went into my character and just rolled from the character sheet.
Yeah.
Hang on. Let me
I'm gonna double click.
Let me try that again. You might have to reload it if I turned it off. Let me go back and click on people. What the hell? That's combat carousel.
I rolled a 7.
Okay, hang on. Active modules. Did I turn it off? That's combat utility belt.
Website seemed to crash for me.
You might need to reload it.
Oh, I tried and it didn't load.
Yeah, I tried and nothing's loading.
Okay,
Reload now.
hang on. Let me go back and look at this.
It's loaded now.
Excellent.
Still no bar though, but
Okay.
Yeah, I don't
the
see mine
map's
either.
there.
Hang on, let me look for it. Okay, some categories. Save. Where is it? I may have a conflict between mods. Let's try something real quick. Let's turn this off. Let's turn off that. Where did that bar go? That was so useful. Turn off that module. Sorry, I'm gonna have to click through and unload, reload until it basically pops in again. Give me like
It's all
2 minutes.
Take your time.
Why is it not showing up? No, that's just Toggles Combat. The funny thing, it was just working like the other day. Until I was playing. That's what happens when you play around with different settings and then it stops doing what it's supposed to. Okay, token action HUD. Why is it not showing? You know what? I better just turn it off and turn it back on. And again, I do apologize if it keeps crashing and reloading for you guys. It's while I play with the modules.
It's all good.
Sorry about that.
Why? I don't understand why it's not loading.
I mean, I guess we can just use the thing for now.
Yeah, we can
20?
either roll from
Or D&D
Roll20
Beyond.
or D&D
You
Beyond.
can use the
Yeah, you could also do that.
and click your person, and that pops up. We can just do that, I guess.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Try to do saving throws.
Hang on, I'm gonna make this scud a little larger. No, did it? Like shove it somewhere in a corner? No. Alright, I do apologize. I'll have to play around with that to see if something is bugging it, which is very frustrating. Okay, so athletics checks for everyone, please. And you can roll...
7.
Oh, excellent. In D&D Beyond, if you prefer, that is perfectly fine.
Even if I don't have the athletics skill?
Yeah, even if you don't have athletics skill, you can still roll the athletics check.
Yeah. Oh, God, yeah.
I forget how all that works, Alexi. Is it if you're proficient in it, you get an advantage or something?
You get better bonuses, basically.
You get proficiency bonus.
Oh, yeah.
Feels so good. Ugh.
Well, Dice isn't getting in that hole. I mean, no different than real
So,
life, right?
Tobin, you actually get up to the waterfall, and I'll move you over there, with the helmet on, and just the pressure of the water, with how slick the rocks are, it just keeps pushing you back. So you're going to need help. Otherwise, you're kind of stuck down here. Who wants to try to grab him?
The hole below.
No, you don't
I
get
can,
pushed down into that, but you are having difficulties.
I can reach back towards him and try to yank him through.
All right, then you can make also an athletics roll.
I'm just imagining shoving him from behind, like, get in there!
Wow, nice athletics rolls. All right, so what I'm going to do is I am going to activate the next scene. And I'm going to put your characters in it in just a moment. So you should see it black. Who is going first?
Me.
All right, so you are there. Who's second?
I think it'd have to be Tobin if he was grabbing him.
All right, so Tobin's next.
Probably third.
All right. Kaleem is third, and Ileana then is fourth.
If you cloaker me again, I swear to Jesus.
All right, first of all, that wasn't my fault.
I know, but I still... I'm traumatized!
All right, well, I will not send cloakers at you this time.
Thanks.
All right. So you enter a very strange area, and I should probably pause the game before you guys move around. The area is very narrow, and you travel for quite a distance. You actually have to pull and push your way through. With how the heavy helmets and armor work, Morden has the most difficult time getting through everything, just because it's not an even ground. The opening is very narrow, and it doesn't open up much further. You actually need to make me listen check as you guys go, because while you are also very loud, you begin to hearing noises further on.
How do we do a listen check?
Perception?
It is perception. Yeah, sorry.
Okay. Is that passive?
Nope, just active in this case.
Okay. I'm rolling it in D&D Beyond because I can't seem to get the controls on Foundry.
So if you double-click on your own character sheet, under Skills, you can go to Perception, and you can press that. It gives you a little opening, a little window that pops up. It gives you normal, advantage, or disadvantage. And then
I can't get it to open. Like, I can't even see it.
If you double-click your character, you'll see the thing pop up?
Like, on the little icon on the left?
Yeah, like
Nothing.
under...
All right, hang on. Let me share my screen so I can show you guys what I'm talking about.
Nothing's happening.
All right, hang on.
Oh.
Let's do... Oh, no, not this. Back. Let's do this. Go live. All right, so you guys should see my screen. All you guys in here. Let's zoom in a little. So when you have your character selected, you should be able to double click, and this window pops up.
Okay. I'll try.
Is that not happening?
Oh, there it is.
There you go.
Okay, cool. Thanks.
Yeah, no problem. So when you click on the skill, it should open up this window, and you can do normal, advantage, disadvantage.
I'm sucking right now.
That's okay. Okay. So yeah, when you also right-click on yourself, you should see health bar, and also this is your normal armor class, this is your passive perception, and this is your move speed. It just makes it easier to view all that stuff.
I don't see that.
You guys don't see that? Okay.
See what?
I thought I fixed that. Ever by anyone. So, when you right-click on your character portrait, you don't see these three?
No, those don't pop up. Absolutely not. But we don't need that. What do we need those for?
All right, never mind. That's true. That's true. Okay. All right. Anyway, I guess that's more useful for me indeed, but that's still.
We're all from IT. We're used to crap not working. It's fine.
listen here. That's true, but still, it's
Dave's in our crap always works.
I'm. It shouldn't be this hard. You know what? It's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. Everything is absolutely fine. All right. So as you start heading into this thing, you notice that there are plants growing in this cavern, even though it's kind of really narrow and just damp. There's just moisture everywhere. It's not the filth that you had in the sewers, but there's just this slime and moisture all running down these walls. You also hear chanting in the distance, depending on how well you roll with perception. Ooh, wow. So, Ileana, because you are stuck in the back, all you hear is Morden's grunts and then occasional scraping of metal on one of the walls. On the other hand, Morden, Kaleem, and Tobin, you guys do hear noises from up ahead. Part of it is running water, just the sound of water running through the cavern. Part of it is normal conversation. It sounds like humans talking, but you also hear...
Did you make that sound again? But Morlocks, gotcha.
Yeah, Morlocks.
No.
Now, you do hear some gibbering sounds just coming from, God knows where, really. Further up ahead, that's for sure. You also hear some kind of chanting further up ahead, and it sounds something like Kol Saltor, Dargath van Altor, Gudeth, Hartkoma Dal Gorga, Shuteth, Saldar Galtar, Olgar Drath, Darvol, Volkordol, Volkor, Dol. The rest of it kind of echoes and hits back and forth around the area, but it seems like further up ahead there's something strange. Now, do any of you know Primordial?
I do not.
No.
I don't think so, but where the fuck are my languages?
If you'd ask any other game, then yes.
Fair enough. So, when you go into your character sheet, you have on... under features?
It's on the far right under proficiencies.
Ah, yeah, it is under proficiencies. I thought it was under features as well. But yes, it's under proficiencies. Some of you do, some of you do not.
Is. Common, Dwarvish, Draconic, Abyssal.
Yeah, I don't think any of you know it. Ah, damn, I wrote this cool thing down and none of you are going to get it. Yeah, alright, so cool. None of you understand what's happening, but there's definitely noises coming, echoing from the tunnels. You also do feel almost like a pressure change periodically. Like, it feels normal, and then the air almost pulses, like... and then it just kind of pops and moves around. And you feel like a suction, and then a backdraft periodically. Alright, I will unpause, and you can move around again. There are things that you see, and you may talk now. Please continue.
We can only go in one direction, right? Like, say if I wanted to go up like that, I couldn't go back down. Like you said, it
yes,
was
that's
pretty
true.
tight to do that.
You could fit through most of these. If you can't fit through something, please let me know. But yes, you can generally move only one direction currently. If you want to turn around, all of you would have to turn around. Unfortunately, the space is not big enough for all of you to fit through.
Can we tell what direction the speaking or sound is coming from?
Yes. So you do know that some basic common is coming from just further up ahead into further cavern. It looks like it opens up a little. The chanting is coming from somewhere way deeper in. You're not 100% sure where.
So is it like there are two sets of people talking?
So, yes, it does sound like there's just normal common talking, where you hear periodically muttering, and periodically it's like, man, it smells in here. I hate being here. I mean, I know our great God just wants us to do this, but it's disgusting. Ugh. And then you hear sounds of sharpening like a little blade or dagger, just whetstone and metal, just shink, shink, shink. And just muttering conversations like, yes, dinner was stale bread again. I mean, it could have been worse, but still, I don't like it. And then just...
You mentioned
Mhm.
you heard that we heard them mention like their god wants us to do this. Can I do a religion check to see if I can tell what might be going on down direction, or is that kind of
You
something
don't
that's
have enough context right now to roll anything. You will be able
okay?
to make that roll later, but you just don't know anything right now. So yeah, and you can move around. Just be warned that if you move into the areas with, let's say, cultists or with more light, they will try to spot you and then we'll initiate combat. So do be careful as you move around. Morden, you would need to make a stealth check just because you have plate and you have to move extra carefully in order not to just scrape it on stone everywhere you go.
Stealth. Yoink.
Okay, 12.
I'm kind of stealthy.
I mean, yes. You are doing good. You rolled
What
just
direction?
enough that none of them with their passive perception, can tell what is happening.
All right. But we can tell. All right. Are you sure we want to check north to see if it loops around, or do we actually want to go in the direction of the voices?
Well, the common is coming down to the south, but I think we need to find chanting, right?
I would agree. We are here to investigate, and if something sounds like it's going on down below us, I do feel we should, head in that direction. It is very hard to maneuver around in these caves, so we don't want to get stuck.
Well, we also don't want to run headfirst into something we may not be prepared to handle.
Can we see that opening to the south?
Only Morden can see it. It's mostly because he's close enough to view it. The rest of you just don't have line of sight right now just because you're in a small, narrow passageway and you just can't see it yet.
Can you even fit through that? You can't fit through that.
You would have to struggle and push some rocks aside. You may be able to squeeze through it. Morden won't because he's, packing heavy plate and that doesn't really bend.
Here's the deal. I don't think we can't walk through it, so we're going to walk by it and give them a chance to see you for a little gain. So going north makes sense. Does that make sense?
Concur. But I also suggested going in the beginning.
Quiet, Kobe.
Right.
No one likes your condescending attitude.
If anybody's stealthy enough to take a look through that crack, I can move out of the way and have them take a quick look.
I mean, I don't know if I'm stealthy, but I'm smallest.
Ah, okay.
I mean, yeah, you can hide. It looks like you would be able to potentially hide behind the rocks that are in the way and take a peek.
I'll wait here just so he doesn't get trapped.
Alright, so I'm going to look through.
Yeah. As you look around, poke your head up, you see several things. One of them is there's a whole bunch of hay kind of to the side and what appears to be a large tent with a cultist kind of standing there. You also see, from your point of view, that there is at least one way in and one way out of this cave just from here. It looks like there's a ladder going up that's like almost bolted into the rocks and a ladder going further down, like a hatchway into something else. The token action hut, apparently there was a bug thing that broke it, and there's an update that I can download to hopefully fix it. So if you guys want, I can shut down the server, try to download the update, and restart. Should only take a few minutes, or we can keep playing as it is.
It's working as it is right now.
Okay, that's fine. I'll just update it later. As you're looking around and talking, you hear footsteps as if someone's moving, and you hear in comment, "Ugh, I hate these things. They freak me out." And just walking. And then you have a sound of a small stream, as if someone's peeing in a bucket.
Charming.
All right, so I guess we have to go and take a look at the top. There's no... We can't travel down that path. Does it lead to a dead end?
Lines upwards from what I saw.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so I guess we should start moving forward.
Yeah, you may move around as you wish.
Can I move and keep doing active perception checks?
Yeah,
to,
you can basically
make sure there's
see
no
what
traps?
you can see here. I'll let you know if you run into anything. All of you can make me stealth rolls as well if you're trying to move quietly through these rocks. Very nice. Only Tobin's having some issues. Mostly because you are like on your knees rather than slithering around. You sometimes whack your head into things and go, son of a... Just keep snagging yourself on rock. Yeah.
The smallest one of us all keeps hitting his head.
Yeah.
That does happen sometimes. You will notice that sometimes you clip like halfway in, halfway out of rocks. Sometimes that happens, and I am very sorry.
All right, good.
Yeah. Morton, as you continue moving, you do notice that there is almost like a half digested body, half in and half out of what appears to be a small pool of stagnant water.
Are you sure that's water?
You can't really tell. But it seems like the body either got stuck or wedged in this area, or maybe got dragged away into here, and it's just half in and half out of the pool of water.
Can I do an investigation check?
Sure. Nice roll. From just looking at it, it seems like it's been here for a while. The skeleton itself is almost completely full. It looks to perhaps be dwarf or halfling, just from the nature of the skeleton itself. It's hard for you to tell, but it's completely naked. Like there's no scraps of clothing. There's nothing on it. Like it looks like it crawled away into here and just died. You also see from your area another skeleton over here, but that one is missing arms and legs. At least from what you can see.
Can I tell? Well, since I can kind of see down there, can I actually actively tell that that path moves into that bigger area?
Yes, you can put the two and two together, and you can continue moving.
Yeah, I spelled that right.
Yeah. I did enable that all of you can see each other's view, so you can more or less see what other people are seeing. Yeah, that entryway does open up into the path into the larger cavern, and you do see a large tent with a light like kind of glowing out of it, and you hear voices coming from inside the tent, like You hear in common, in fact, "Oh man, it's just in my head and I'm just so hungry. Oh, the combination is just, ugh."
We see to the right.
You hear another voice go, "Oh, shut up, that's all you ever say. Hungry this, headache that. Ugh."
Tobin, can you, you're the smallest and you easily fit through this better than the rest of us. Can you take a look to the right for us?
To the right of the passageway?
Yes.
Stand my ground again.
All right, when you get to about here, I'm going to pause the game for a second. You see what appears to be a dead body wedged into the passageway here, as well as a faint glow coming from over there, further in.
A lot of dead bodies around here.
At least one. And I'll unpause.
Gotcha.
Did you find anything of interest over there? Tobin?
I'm typing it.
You could just say it. You don't have to type it out.
The passageway continues on to the right over there. And then it splits into two areas. One area I can see a lot of fog, and the other area goes down. I couldn't see all the way down there. There is another body down there, but it keeps going further on. So it looks like there is another source of fog.
And again, at this point, you hear you've been traveling very carefully, very quietly for quite some time. It hasn't been like an hour, but it's been like 15, 20 minutes. And while you previously heard chanting, it stopped for a while as you slowly moved around. And now you again hear, Kol Sator, Dargath, Vau Artal Kor, Gudeth, Harkama Dal Rolgar, Shuteth, Volkardor, Volkardor. And you feel again like this sucking sensation of the air just going into place or into something, you're not sure, and then it almost pulsates back out. You can feel the pressure build up as it does.
Can I make an insight check to
Yeah.
see if I understand that it's related?
You can try, yeah. You're not sure what's happening.
Can't you do shouldn't one of you guys who is knowledgeable in magic do knowledge arcana?
Can't understand what they're saying.
Yeah,
Well,
you
no,
don't understand what they're saying.
Gibberish.
Yeah, basically. You do hear a few moments later, almost like, as if something's clearing its throat for the first time, just kind of shuffling around. And you do hear, also in common, just a little bit later, another servant for my master. Excellent.
Ooh, does not sound good.
It seems like they're summoning something down here, guys.
My guess is they're converting people into those monsters.
Well, we heard the gas does that passively.
I do think we should go check this out, as it could have something to do with the fog. But I'm not
Check
gonna
what
go.
out? In front of us?
Yeah, like what's going down in the camp.
The thing is, if we make too much noise, it'll alert the chanters.
That's the thing. We can't not. I feel like we can't not investigate this. Like, we clearly know something's going down here. We're sent to investigate what's going on.
No, I'm saying I think we need to find chanting now, as opposed to some guy sitting around in tents.
I mean, that's where we hear the chanting coming from.
You hear almost wet footprints as
Like,
something moves
that was
past.
explained to us.
No, this is where we hear the common. The chanting comes from further in, like to the right and.
We heard the chanting way back here. Why can't I ping the map?
I'm telling you, dude, I rolled a nat 20. This is where I look down here and there's just a bunch of people chilling near tents.
And why don't you lead the way?
Sure, we're on plate.
So?
Alright, this
Was
seems
the
a little-
So I'm trying to tell you, if we fight the guys near the tents, we will most likely alert the people that are summoning. Or whatever they're doing.
Does anybody else have any input, or am I going to have to keep making these decisions?
We just made a decision.
We're going this way.
Bugger.
Yes, everyone listen to Tobin. Why does it worry you? What do you want to do?
Well,
Because you've been keeping your mouth shut the entire time.
no, I said before that I don't want to get attacked from both sides. We now left an area where we know
Except if we
people.
go there, we can get attacked from both sides.
Yeah, either way, we have a chance of getting attacked from both sides. So my character's concerned.
Yeah. To be frank, you are in a very narrow passageway. Anything that comes after you will have the same difficulty you do, whereas just you can't really fit through very well. There's not a lot of room to use any real weapon, like maybe a dagger will be fine. But beyond that, like it's very difficult to do anything. Yeah. So as you get to where you are, there is a faint light source further up ahead in the cavern to your to the east, but there's also a very different light source coming from the south, and you do see a cloaked. Actually, no, you don't see anything yet from that position. You do see some kind of dead body lying over here. It seems to have either its throat slit, or there's just a lot of blood around its head.
Tobin, did you want to go south, or did you want to go check out the fog while
Down here real quick. I'll stealthily do it.
Oh shit!
Holy shit!
So you crawl up, and I'm gonna pause the game here because it's important. You crawl up further, and you have that moment where you see the dead body in front of you, and it distracts you for a moment because you swear it looks and winks at you. You're just like, what? And then as you look over it, there appears to be some kind of, and I will show you. There's some kind of creature that stands in front of what appears to be an altar. And you can see just worms just crawling all over it. Its hands look like they are worms or made from worms. And there's worms just kind of falling around its feet and just combining and moving around it. And
Boogie, is that you?
Maybe. And it seems to be chanting in a voice that isn't used to speech, with a tongue that isn't really a tongue. Kol Sartor, Dargath, Var Altar, Gudeth, Harkoma Dal Ralgar, Shulteth, Ol Olgardath, Volkordol. And as it does so, you feel the air a little bit further in front of it just pulse. And it has this sucking noise where the air first pulls in and then it pushes out. And from your perspective, you see just this fog cloud just kind of expand and then slowly get pulled up into a place above you, where you don't see.
Is Tobin the only one who can see this thing?
For the moment, yes. Sorry, what?
I saw the green fog come out of there.
Yeah, you saw the green fog come out and then slowly get pulled up. You're not sure where up, but it just went further up. And then a few moments later, you hear almost like a footfall, but it sounds wet and slopping. It's just sounds ridiculous. And you see this creature stumble forth, just and just start walking and keep going. And we'll unpause.
What? Sounds
Good
revolting.
enough for this shit. Okay. There is something there's something monstrous down there summoning the fog and summoning those creatures. They seem to be coming out of a portal at the same exact time.
Could you tell how many were down there?
I saw one summoner and it summoned one creature. So my assumption is that every time you're chanting, it summons a creature.
What kind of
at the same time.
What kind of creature is it?
The creatures that we fought previously.
Ew.
Did you see if there's a spot that we can get a advantage from?
It is likely to see us when we exit the passageway. It is narrow and it is slightly behind it, but it is also into a pool of water. It is likely that it will notice us when we emerge.
Sounds like we have two options here.
Yep, go home.
We could either retreat and inform the order of this, or we can also try to put a stop to it using the dynamite.
But if we use the dynamite, couldn't that cause a cave-in?
I would assume it causes a cave-in in the area of the explosion. I think if Tobin maybe places it and you know uses a fireball, we may be able to retreat.
So Tobin and Morden, you, because of where you are currently, you can make me a perception check.
Oink.
Who? Me?
Yes. Tobin and Morden, both of you can make me.
Nice.
What? What did you do?
Oh my god!
All right, let's put you back to where you were. I don't know what happened. Started flying around. Yeah, all right. So between the two of you, as you look down this passageway, you do see the dead body over here. It almost seems like it twitches, moves very slightly.
Did you see that, Tobin? I think that body.
I don't know what that means. Like, some sort of necromancer? Is that thing a necromancer, perhaps? I don't know. Perhaps it's a matter of time before it gets up and alerts our people that were here.
I think we should move out of sight.
And we can try moving forward to the pool and flank it. I don't know.
That we can, but it also leaves our rear exposed, which Kaleem is worried about.
Rear's also always exposed. Well, we either retreat or we go forward. So we can either try.
I think we should first move out of sight, definitely, because that thing did seem to move ever so slightly, unless my eyes are playing tricks on me.
Do you want to move forward?
I'm going to move out of sight here.
I'll follow.
All right, and as the rest of you move up, Kaleem and Ilyana, you both can make spot checks as now you're entering that area and can actually look into there.
So perception?
Yes, perception.
Okay, hold on.
All right, not bad. Actually, all of you have rolled very well. As you move through and move into this furthest room at the end, that room appears to have, again, a fairly decent-sized pool with what looks to be a well that is constructed in it. And that's where some of this water is coming from. It's like bubbling up and just kind of resting. From what you can tell, if this passageway was a little different, the water would slope from here and enter into the cavern further in. So the water is probably coming from here and going into the main cavern, or at least it used to. It looks like the path was disrupted, or there was cave-ins. Possibly the whole dragon thing happened and rearranged how the water flows, and now there's only random pools and streams around. Probably remnants that just haven't dried up. As you pass the narrow passageway, you both, Ileana and Kaleem, could have sworn that the body was just like very, very slowly, very, very slowly inching its way deeper into the passageway where you are. Almost as if trying to get away from whatever is happening in the main chamber without drawing attention to itself. Ileana, make me...
We were
sorry.
only supposed to investigate this, right, guys? Like, we didn't have to stop the fog.
Yeah. Ileana, make me a survival check at it with advantage.
Sure. Sorry.
Yeah, we were only test for the source.
Survival.
Or we could be ballers and take it out.
Nice. With a 17, you have a vague memory of both predators and prey. When they see something dangerous, sometimes they will move so ever slowly, so ever patiently, as to not be seen as moving at all, and cover great distances, but in very long time. It's a method of movement to avoid notice of larger, more powerful things.
Yeah, it's because you spent your real spells fighting rats.
So, Eliana, are you saying we are far too weak to take that on?
I'm saying that thing is dangerous, and I don't think we are prepared enough to attack that thing.
Then I think for today, we should retreat and live
I
to
agree.
fight tomorrow.
Yes, I agree. There's no sense in rushing in unprepared when you could very easily get yourself killed doing stupid heroics.
So, I will remind you that Kaleem does have a scroll of teleportation that can target all of you and pull you out and back into the Cathedral of Flame.
Is that a one-time thing?
Yes, it literally just, whoever he targets just pops everybody out and brings you all back.
I was gonna say, does it like pop out of existence once he uses it?
Yeah, it's a one-time use, so the scroll itself will
It's
just
a
crumble
scroll,
to ash.
Well, we probably can get more from the temple if need be.
Yeah, I think it's a good time to use that.
Does this well area continue any further or no?
The only way to find out is to go down the well.
Also, is there a way you think we can mark like the walls so we can mark the area so we can find our way back?
Kaleem, make an intelligence check or an arcana roll. 10. You have a vague memory that teleportation, when used to a location, needs a component of that location. So you can't blindly teleport to it. It usually needs some place you visited or some kind of object from that place to really anchor it in the right location. And that's all I'm going to do. So you guys can move around in the area and try to figure out what to do. I'm going to get myself some water.
You said there's nearby plants?
I don't remember a plant here.
I haven't heard of anything about plants.
Is that what the purplish looking stuff is?
Above the table, part of me just wants to fight this thing because it'll be fun.
It's certain death.
Like,
Yeah.
part of me really wants to run after you explode shit with dynamite.
Why? What am I gonna explode?
Alright, boys, we're going to fight this thing.
Sneak down there, chuck that shit in there, let's fucking beeline it out of here, bro.
Why?
Fucking interrupt what they're doing.
I mean, like, the dynamite's good, like, when a mob of things come at us, I can chuck the dynamite in there.
So I will
let's
say
see.
that if you guys want, what you can do is you can have Kaleem start casting the teleport spell, and somebody crawl up here, chuck the dynamite in, and then teleport out, and hope for the best.
What are the purplish things that are kind of along the walls?
They're literally plants. They're just some weird, funky plant things.
Does anyone think we should investigate the other voices, the voices that were in common before we, peace out of here?
We can, but again, if we start fighting with them, right, we will alert the summoner. He's like right there. That's what I'm saying. We can hear we can hear each other in this place, right?
Yeah,
sounds are echoing.
You guys are
True.
very carefully whispering to yourselves. Most of the sound is drowned out by just water moving around, the summoner, and these creatures just making noise as they walk and kind of get used to being in this plane of existence. Periodically, you do see your commoner talk from what appears to be humans somewhere in that area, perhaps in one of the tents. And they're talking about just the discomfort being here, these weird, freaky things that are here, their great god. It doesn't make a lot of sense to you. It's very disjointed. But there's enough noise to mask very quiet communication.
It sounds like we're gonna teleport out of here, right?
Yes.
All right, so grab a flower. Grab the flower sample of the pool near us.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take out my small knife and just kind of cut a piece of the flower,
Sure.
in hopes that it will be kind of like a source for the teleportation in the future.
Sure.
We can also hope that by not chucking dynamite at the summoner and praying it kills it,
Chuck dynamite.
that we'll be able to find it again, because we don't know the dynamite's actually going to kill it.
Hey,
Maybe it'll
it
just
could
go
slow it
somewhere
down.
else. But it might just go
Yeah,
somewhere
we're
else.
leaving. we're leaving.
get out, skedaddle, bro.
Okay. Yeah, so you just take a plant. Alright, so you can either use the dynamite and try it, or you can just teleport out. Kaleem, since you have the spell scroll, basically you control the timing on this.
I don't see the spell scroll anymore, but
If it's erased, that's fine. Just tell me when you're using it, and we will move on.
I don't recommend tossing dynamite.
I don't either.
Dynamite. How about the dynamite?
Alright, so you ready to teleport back?
Yes.
Okay. So we will
Let's get the fuck out of here.
activate this scene.
I was half hoping that something would interrupt that.
No. We're not doing that shit. Not again.
You remember the time that Dave touched the thing and we died from it, and Tom
I'm
hasn't
just
let us
saying,
live it.
part of
Let
me
us,
wants-
let,
No?
I
let us
want to
live it
fight a
down.
boss, okay? I want to fight a boss. That's all I'm saying.
Well, you'll get your chance. Don't you worry. All right. So you activate the spell scroll, and you finish the chant, and you see the scroll just burn up in your hands as the spell just pulls you all out. And in the very last moment, you have that sensation of, this is odd. It's like I felt this before. And then you disappear, and you reappear in this grand cathedral of Father Flame in it's one of the side chambers. It's like a designated area for teleportation in and out for dignitaries. And when all of you show up, there's just a bunch of guards, like paladins and just temple guards, looking at you funny, going, what are these people doing here? One of them goes to pull their sword, but all of you have your helmets on. You're covered in slime and this filth, and they're just I don't know if I want to fight these people or just throw them out. I'm oh. and you have the first chance to act. The breath smells like it's cleansed by purifying fire. All right, so yeah, you're able to remove your helmets. The guards just kind of look at you funny. I don't do anything for a few moments.
Is the bishop available? I asked one of the guards.
The guards look at you and ask for what is your business with the bishop. Also, which one? There's a few of them.
That's not who.
Oh, we gotta speak to Bishop Lube? Nice.
Yeah, all right. Bishop Lube is going to see you now.
Sounds like the start of a porno.
Yeah, I'm going to just, refer him to Bishop Nugna.
I mean, Tobin does look like a child.
It's getting darker every time we play. It just gets that little bit darker. All right.
What do you think we left Grim out here to do?
Sorry, what?
What do you think we left Grimcloud here to do?
Well, that's fair enough.
Use the bathroom?
The bishop, one of the guards walks off, and a little bit later, maybe about 15, 20 minutes later, the bishop shows up. He gives you one look over and goes, "Oh, man, you are all filthy."
We've seen some shit, bro.
He's like, "Oh, I can see it on you." Oh. Disgusting. He's like, "Well, can't have you. All right, follow me," and he leads you off. It takes a little bit, and he beckons for a server to come by, and he points to as you're walking. He's like, "Just clean this area. We don't want the filth to be dragged all over the place. Just you know what to do." And the server's like, "Oh yes, Bishop," and walks off, and he leads you to almost like a little area that's a bathroom/bath kind of area, and it looks to be cordoned off. There's acolytes to the side, and he gestures you in. He's like, "Please take a few minutes, clean up yourselves, and we can talk like civilized people instead of all of you being covered in filth." He's like, "I understand you have an urgent report for me, but unless it's the dragons bursting through, you can take a few minutes to clean up and see each other as civilized beings." All right. Does anyone have anything else that they want to do urgently, or are you all going to clean up?
I'm going to get this stank off my shizzle.
Yeah, we'll get cleaned up.
Yeah.
Right, fair enough. So as you strip down of your armor and equipment, you do have a few priests that come in, and they have these almost lemon scented cloth that they start scrubbing the area with, including your armor and a lot of your clothing. It looks like they have at least one spellcaster that can cast Prestidigitation that slowly cleans the muck off your clothes as you can pledge as you guys can go into a little bathing area and basically wash off. This area is actually just a large bath. It's not separated by men, women. It's just one large bath. You can walk in there. They have towels and almost like little bathing suits that you can wear to hide your shame, as it were, to go in and clean up. So it takes 15 minutes or so for you to clean up, get all this filth out of it. It probably takes longer to just soap up your hair and start getting this crud out than it does anything else. But you manage to clean yourself off, get everything taken care of, come out, and at that point, there's nothing to feast on, Morden. I'm sorry. They have finished cleaning up your armor to a degree where it doesn't just smell of filth, and you're able to start getting dressed. While you're in the bath, you have a little bit of privacy. There's no one bothering you in there. You have a few minutes to talk as you need to. Oh shit! I do enjoy that some of the conversation in text is italics that is ported into Discord, and some things are in bold. So some things show up as feast your eyes, just big bold, and then some things are like looks, and then italics is not visibly impressed or not terribly impressed. So it's honestly it's pretty hilarious.
And we're doing it on accident too. It's all because of the stars.
Yeah, if you use double stars, it looks like it is bolded, and if it is just single star around whatever, it looks like it's just italics, which is hilarious. All right, so as you should talk your way in the bath, is there anything you want to discuss about what you will bring up to the bishop?
So we need to discuss what we want to say to the bishop?
Yeah.
I'm listening, but my dog's attacking me. Hold on. I think he wants to go out.
Positive attacking or negative attacking?
There's an important step to tell. From what you can tell, yeah, only one person really saw it because they crept up enough. The rest of you didn't really get a glimpse. You also did find some strange things in the writing. You found one journal about a weird egg thing somewhere else, deeper in the area, and one journal that's just gibberish that you're not really sure what it is. Curse you, spell check. Oh, no, that did not update it as I wanted to. Okay, so Ileana, you do have a book of lore in your inventory that you picked up. It's that madman's writing. Yes. And Kaleem, you're the one that had diary, effectively, which is... I can just do this. Book.
I have returned.
Can shove that into your loot, and then I can edit this. There we go. Edit item. More. And then copy and paste. Save. Okay, so there we go. I think this is probably easiest. Yeah, so I just pasted it in there. That doesn't really show anything. I'll delete that. So, Kaleem, you have a book of lore, and that has the little story that I read the other day. And then Eliana has the other book that is just weird writing in it. Okay, there you go. Formatting be damned. Okay. All right. So after you're done cleaning up, you will now be able to speak to the bishop in a secure area and talk to him when you're ready for that conversation. So just let me know and we'll go into that. All right, so you're still discussing it a bit as you get cleaned up. You get dressed and are able to basically come out, and there's an attendant waiting for you that will bring you to the bishop. When you're ready, the bishop greets you in almost like a little sitting room. It's a little different than the one you were in previously, and has on short order brought wine, mead, beer, and just almost like snack foods, like small tiny sandwiches, little breadsticks with meat in them. You're not sure what they are, but like there's a whole bunch of like smaller foods that you can eat as you talk. And he greets you. He goes, I'm excited to see you back so soon. It's only been about 2 days that we've talked last. How was the journey? What have you found?
A lot.
Are we talking to the bishop already?
Yes. You have at this point spent a bit of time in the bath to clean up. Your clothes have been cleaned up, and the filth that you tracked into the temple has been taken care of.
I'm surprised they didn't just burn our clothes.
There's magic. I mean, they will prefer you to burn your clothes. They don't want to do it on you while you're wearing them, unless they have proven you to be a heretic.
Well, I should hope not. Oh.
Yeah. So yeah, now you're in the presence of the bishop, and he's asking you, what have you found? And by all means, any one of you can start talking to him and explain what's going on.
I guess that's me.
Anyone at all can do it. To be fair, Shrade is still indisposed in the bathroom somewhere going, oh my god!
Shouldn't have eaten that.
Yeah.
So, Bishop, we have ventured through. We ventured through the sewers, and we found many patches of fog. Then, whatever.
And the undead creatures.
Undead creatures.
We found more of those creatures, and it led us to a cave system. The cave system seemed to be inhabited by kobolds, or what used to be kobolds. There was some kind of great battle there in the past.
He does say that that's rather puzzling. I've heard that there was some kind of infestation down there, but not the details. I think there was something. And he pauses, like struggling to remember. It's like there was something there. I think the tower sent some people down there for some reason. I don't remember of what it was. But kobolds, go on.
the cobalt the cobalt caverns led to once exploring further, we found further caverns that seemed to be the origins of the fog. We came across a small area that was rather difficult to get to, with some sort of creature that appeared to be summoning the fog, as well as those disgusting creatures we sometimes see come out of the fog. The thing that was summoning them was somewhat indescribable. It appeared to have human form, but it was almost like its flesh was crawling.
So the bishop will do a
Dance.
He will do a dance. He's gonna make a little roll. Oh my god, that roll sucks. Holy shit. Okay. As you describe your experiences, he's nodding, he's taking a little bit of notes, and then you start talking about this creature, and he gets this like puzzled look in his face. He's like, "That's, I'm not sure. Like, can you describe it?"
It looked like a cat. It looked like it stood upright like a man. It was dressed in a robe, but its flesh looked like it was crawling with worms.
He's like,
And it was speaking a language that none of us could understand.
The bishop is very.
Every time it finished chanting, we felt this wave of pressure, and it would release the green fog into the air, and one of those creatures would appear, almost as if summoned.
That is alarming news. Very alarming. Now, he looks over at Kalim and says, "It says you seem to have both a plant and samples from the area. May I have them?" And he pulls out like a little handkerchief that you can put them on. Thank you. He looks at it and is like, I will speak with my colleagues and see if we can teleport into the area. How big is it?
It is rather small. There were a few larger areas that we could see, but getting to those areas requires going in single file. So a large force is not viable. We did hear some voices of other people there speaking common, though. So we do think there's other types of guards or something there that's working with the summoner.
He's like,
we also found this other journal as we were searching. It talks about an egg and summoning.
Okay, so the bishop sets aside the plant sample in one area. Do you hand him both journals?
Yes.
Okay, so he looks at the journal Kalim hands over first, the one that details the issues with the egg, and goes, well, that's rather puzzling. I wonder what this means. He's like, it's definitely a writings of a madman or a creature that's slowly going insane. But beyond that, I'm not familiar with any of this. Perhaps this would be a better study for the people in the tower, in the Great Tower. They might be more familiar. This seems more of an arcane thing than is anything divine. And he hands that journal back to Kalim. He takes the journal from you, Liana, opens it up, looks at it, and just goes, ugh. And you can see almost visible revulsion from him as he looks upon the writing. And he's like, this is clearly, and he flips a page. He goes, this is even difficult to look at. This is definitely a deranged mind. Everything's at odd angles. The writing doesn't make sense. I believe some of chunks are written in primordial, but it's hard to say. He twitches as he looks at it. He's like, oh god, no, it's too profane for my eyes to lay on. And he hands it over. It may be worth further studying. I don't know. It's not something I want to involve in. And he hands that back.
Having a moment of, I'm not sure if that's an insult that I can read it and he can't.
You're not sure. You can make a knowledge arcana roll.
Okay. I don't have jack shit for arcana, but I will do it anyway.
All right.
Because
you would need to roll at disadvantage, though. So you need to roll
Hold on.
again and take the lowest of the two.
So that's disadvantage.
Yeah, okay. Yep, that's a 6. So yeah, you have no idea. You're like, all right, this could be an insult. I don't know enough. Or the other way to think of it is like, no, I'm just better than this bishop. I know what's happening. I am prepared. Just puts it away.
Suck it, Bishop.
Yeah, eat, flame, and burn, I guess? I don't know what the insults are in this world. So he looks at the plants that you have gathered, the one from the area and one that is consuming the fog. He goes, all right, the one that is consuming the fog, I will speak with our druids, see what they have found. This seems just like a common plant. Like, it's just from what I know, it's just a normal plant. But okay. For the other ones, like, I will have to ponder of what to do. It seems that while we can, in theory, teleport to that area as a group for a strike force, the fact that we can't get to our target immediately would make us at a great disadvantage. We will have to consider this.
I want to interrupt the bishop.
Go ahead.
We did see another entrance, as there was a ladder. It looked like a ladder leading upwards from one of the caverns, but we don't know where it leads to or it comes from. There is another entrance / exit. We just don't know where it is.
He says, all right, that's well worth considering. You've done us a great service for discovering what has happened. We will have to discuss this amongst the senior leadership and send in or teleport in a scout or two who really specialize in these things to see if we can get a better area of attack. Yes, it's quite possible that if attacking from multiple angles, we can really get at this area, at this problem. So now I will actually mark off the quest log. You do manage to actually find the source of the poison mist. Congratulations. And the bishop actually pulls out a bunch of rewards for you. He tells you that thank you kindly for exploring these dangerous areas and for bringing us this valuable information. You have done a great service for us by finding these terrible things for us. We now know that this is an unnatural reaction, and that this fog, this thing, is really dangerous. We're not sure exactly how, but because it is an alien thing, it's likely an outer being, a being from the outer edges of the darkness, something strange and unforeseen. We'll deal with it in our own way, but for now, you have done what we've asked, and we will reward you for it. Why is this not showing up? It's weird that one of the quests just is not showing up for me.
How do we do the quests again? I'm sorry.
So if you go to the left-hand side, there should be a quest log that looks like a little pen.
Ah, got ya.
Yeah. So you should be able to go in there and open it up.
Ha! Nailed it. Thank you.
No problem. So in hunting for the greater dragon and speaking with the bishop, you do have rewards that you have now gained. He gives each of you a bunch of gold. You actually each of you get 200 gold.
Ooh.
Yeah.
All in.
Yeah, each of you get quite a bit of money. I don't know why the quest wasn't showing for what it should be, but
Just add that, or will it pop up automatically?
no, you have to actually go to it. You can add the gold yourself.
Okay.
That's fine. For whatever reason, the quest log is a little bugged out. It's not showing me the quest that I previously created for you guys. And it just closed out, so... the bishop is now a point of contact, so if you ever need to talk to him or, deal with him, he's now favorably aligned to you, so he will be able to produce, whatever you want, really, within reason. The helmets that you have, they still have 1 full charge, so that is 12 hours of air in them. However, the first 2 charges are used up, so the helmets are yours to keep. You may be able to sell them for quite a bit of money. You may be able to keep them for future use. Either way, it's perfectly fine. And all of you will get some healing cream.
Yay.
Yeah, more healing cream.
So I will put healing cream onto the page, and you can just grab one if you so choose.
It disappeared.
Yeah, why is it doing that?
Because they picked it up.
Yeah, I don't know why I'm doing it this way. I've got like a little macro for it. Item, there you go. Healing cream, item.
Boom, I got myself some cream.
Yeah, does everyone have one?
Yeah.
One above you.
Eliana, I think, needs to click on it.
I know. I'm trying to click on it, and it's not doing nothing.
You may need to click on the basic controls. There's a person that looks like a little person. Click the square, and then click it.
It says, please ensure you have at least 1 character selected. There we go.
Yeah.
Got it. Thank you.
Cool. No problem. Some of it is a little funky for its interactions, but all of you should have at least 1 cream. You have to target yourself often and then click the item to pick it up. Each of these creams is 10 charges of healing. If you had one previously that you didn't use fully, you now have multiples of these, and you basically can use them as you need to. All right, very cool. Did everyone add their gold?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. Then, for all intents and purposes, you are able to travel the world of Father Flame as you need to, and we're going to go back to, to the Father Flame city map, because now you can travel as you like, and the bishop is going to go and try to figure out what's happening. He says that once they figure out what to do, they'll send you a note to the Tower of Father Flame to basically continue on from there, if you are comfortable with us reaching out that way. You don't have to, of course, accept any of our requests, but since we know you are quite capable, we would love to work with you in the future. Are you okay with that?
Yes.
Yes.
Excellent. He gestures that you can just go basically whichever way you want, and we will activate the Father Flame city map. So that should have loaded pretty quickly. And now you can move around as you wish, and you can go to different areas. You can return to your rooms in the Great Tower and go from there and talk to the wizards there, or you can try to explore other areas.
So after that adventure, I think we should rest in the tower, and then we should check some of the other places for more information about the dragon, such as the druids and the vampires.
I agree.
Yep, sounds great.
Sounds good to me.
Okay. Which way are you going to head towards the tower? Are you heading south towards the main road over here and then all the way across? Or do you want to try to head north and around the way you came?
Let's head a different way. Let's head south, the main road. I think that'll be nice.
Yeah, okay. So you head south and you pass by another very grand cathedral. It's actually just a little bit further below you. It seems like there are several that are in this area. They're just very large temples. The biggest one is for the tower of for the god Father Flame, but the others are also for a multitude of gods in the realm. It's just the biggest and grandest is for the god of the world, effectively. As you head further to the east, there is a little area that looks to have been a large park with fountains and trees and just a nice area to sit down and worship and just sell or just rest. However, the fog that has spread from the Colosseum has more or less poisoned it, where it's now basically abandoned. As you continue going, there's large population centers here and here, with manors, shopping areas, just large amounts of room to really rest, buy, just travel. And as you hit the main street, the main street is massive. It is almost 100 feet across, with carriages and large transports going back and forth around it. And there's guards everywhere just to make sure the area is nice and secure. The tower that you see here is massive, maybe 200 feet tall, with a gate directly in the center of it leading in and out of the city. It looks like it almost has areas for people to land on and take off, almost like a landing platform for people that can fly, or objects that can fly, to ferry goods, transport people. And periodically you do see almost like a flying carriage kind of like fly up, park, and people head in and then take off and go other places. So the main area is quite populated. When you get to about here, you notice that there is a large presence of mercenaries and also guards over here, just because there is poisoned fog. And while there's a lot of foot traffic nearby, guards and mercenaries keep the area safe. So if anything weird is popping in that fog, they basically just run out and just murder it real quick and then come right back out. Like, they're not staying in the fog, and the fog is a very small area, maybe about 15, 20 feet across, but it's drifting between, like, on the road between two sides of trees on the side street. But it doesn't seem like there's anything in it. You can generally see through it to the other side. It's just, it's foggy and it's just disgusting. They just don't want anyone in it and anything to grow in it and pop out. So they're just keeping it in view. The trees that are in this fog, however, have decayed and died effectively, but people avoid it, and it doesn't seem to have any further issues in it. You just don't want to stumble into it at night. And then as you walk here and here towards the Great Tower, you see that the area just gets more built up and more populated with larger, grander buildings, and almost like giant apartments in this area for just the general population. You can see that the structure of apartments vary quite a lot between one side and the other. Some of them look like they're dwarven construction. Some of them look like they're human construction from different eras, but they're all serve effectively the same function. And then you manage to get into the Tower of Father Flame and into your rooms. And I will reload that area.
Oddly enough, my character doesn't show up on that map right now for some reason.
Doesn't it?
No, I reloaded and everything a few times and
okay. I don't know why, but all right, let me just plop you down there. Player characters, Morden. All right, now it should show up if you want it to be.
There we go. Now it works.
Yay.
Yeah, but you're also all back in your tower, and you can effectively move around in here. This treasure chest should be gone. Everything in it is gone. And you are back to your rooms without too much trouble. You make it to the tower, and then you can go rest. Shrade will be in his room, wherever that is. I'm just going to move him to the side.
Regretting his life choices.
Yeah, he basically stayed with the priest to get himself cured of the runs, magical runs.
Magical runs are the worst.
Yeah, they they sure are. You are able to spend some time relaxing in your rooms, recovering. If you want to go to the shopping street, we may also do that. That should be loadable for you. So if you want to shop, you can do that as well. And if you want to discuss,
does the shop actually have things that are for sale in it, or do we actually just have to go through the
book? Yeah, we can. You can actually. So the way you can get to it is you can go to the stairs area, and you can step onto the teleport circle, and there's a little bookmark there that if you press your journal notes area, it will pop up. Once you click it, it will teleport you to the shop street, and you can talk to the NPCs there to basically purchase items and equipment.
Will they be less of a dick this time?
Yes. Since I'm role playing them, I'm gonna say yes. If you also just want me to bring everyone to the shop street, we can do that as well.
Sure, I imagine we just like took a rest and now we're ready. Yeah. Move
All right,
on. As
so
long as everyone's okay with that.
I'll just drag everyone in here. You may look around. You don't have to. You can also go between the scenes on your own if you want. It's not an issue. I will delete the extra characters on here. But you can talk to any of the merchants. They do have stuff for sale, and all of you should be able to view their equipment. If you see something that
What the hell?
Yeah, if you click on them, they will talk to you.
Oh. That's
Yeah.
what's happening.
So if you click on the merchant, they all have conversation pieces that will pop through.
How do you get the bookmark again?
You have
Oh,
to...
wait, yeah.
What, did you not load in, or did I not load you in?
No, I'm there now.
1, 2, 3.
Huh.
Oh, are you just like on top of each other?
They are on
I
top of
think
each
so.
other.
Okay.
Thank you. So it's journal notes thingy here.
Yeah, so if you're in the Wizard Tower rooms or in the shop street, if you go towards the edge and click the bookmark or the little journal entry, you should see a little pop-up, and it should say travel to tower or travel to whatever. And you press it, and your character basically teleports.
No one sells any gems, huh?
If you have gems that you're looking to purchase, they might not have any at the moment, but they'll be more than happy to sell you and bring some to you once they get to their warehouse. Because they can only keep so much on hand. And no, the general shop... Actually, no, this general shop will now be open. I've allowed it. So now you can come into that shop. So yeah, you can take a few minutes to look around, buy things as you need to, or as you want to, and... Well, no, this is not Luke, this is Merchant.
Can I sell some of the items I picked up?
Yeah, what are you looking to sell?
I have a halberd, a great axe, and a battle axe.
All right, let me look up. Unfortunately, the merchants can't sell things yet or buy things from you yet. That's not a feature that I have figured out how it works. But I should be able to just tell you what they're going to take it for, and we'll go from there.
Can I request them to get me... Can I request something
Yes.
from them? How do I go about that?
You just tell me what you're looking for, or just write that into the chat.
I don't know who would get me gems, though.
You can talk to the Arcane Merchant over there. It's Cisadia Critol. He'll be able to buy stuff or get you merchants. Or get you gems, rather.
Who?
The lizard man at the very first shop on the right.
Oh, dear.
Let's see, D&D. All right, so what are you looking to sell?
Let's see. It was a halberd. I have a halberd, a great axe, and a battle axe.
All right. The unfortunate thing is He'll buy it for roughly half its price, for 10 gold.
Okay. For each one?
Yes, for each one.
Sure.
It's in good condition. It looks like this was high-quality mercenary gear, or maybe from the Great Tower, so he'll be able to buy it from you for that price. And once you sell it, just delete it from your character sheet. So that's the halberd. What's the other one that you wanted?
That's the halberd. There's a great axe, and there was a battle.
Okay. I have to find a better place. Okay, so great axe will sell for 15 gold.
Okay.
And what's the other one?
Battle axe.
That one's only going to be 5 gold. It looks like it has a whole bunch of wear and tear.
Everything's coming up, Mill.
All right. Anyone else want to sell anything?
No, but I want to put in that request.
Okay.
So gem worth 100 gold.
Any specific gem? Emerald, diamond, just any gems?
A diamond is fine. I don't know. Something. What about something red, like a ruby?
Sure. They can certainly find a ruby for you worth 100 gold. All right.
Did one just appear on the map? Did you just
Yes.
get that from
Yes,
down?
one just appeared on the map. I created it as an item so you can pick it up. And you can mark off 100 gold for yourself.
Okay. Beautiful.
Basically, a lot of the merchants have either, not factories, inventory elsewhere other than just here. Sometimes they do have a back area or a back room where they can get other things. Like it won't do very good if you have just tons of gems just sitting in the open. But they can get virtually anything you're looking for on short order, or at least within a few days. Does anyone else have any requests or wants to purchase something that isn't there?
I'd have to look at the book.
Okay.
Do that off shift or off session. Yeah, that.
All right. If you do have anything you want to sell or you want to purchase, you can always make a list, put it into the above table or our Discord chat, and I will get you back on prices.
I was playing a thief. I would totally break into this.
I mean, you could, and remember, there are negative consequences of all kinds of stuff. While there may not be laser beams from the sky coming in to kill you, the merchants would be unhappy if you broke into a lot of their stuff.
Lazy beam.
Basically, yeah.
Armor.
All right. Whenever you're ready, you can teleport yourself back to the wizard rooms. Or just activate the map area for yourself, and that's basically it.
How do I do that?
So there's two ways. So at the top, You should see Wizard Tower Rooms for 5. You can just click on that. You can also teleport your characters directly from map to map using the bookmarks.
Which one's room?
Not on the top of the map, but on the top of the screen, there should be...
Oh, okay. No, we're good. We're good.
Okay. All right, cool. And that should be that. So you can move between the two areas and shop as you need to. It does take some time traveling between the shop street and the Wizard Tower rooms. A great deal of travel just walking. And you can, once you get to a place where you want to, take a long rest and just recover everything. So yeah, you can, if you want, we have some downtime, so you can hit long rest for all of your characters to recover all your hit points, spells, and anything else. And if you want, you do have a bit of time to actively work on any skills you have as characters, update any backgrounds, or work on those, or train any active skills that you might think you need. All right, so that's 3 people that's taken a long rest.
I did mine in
oh, you did? Okay.
Beyond.
Okay, that's fine then. The character sheets don't automatically update, so you might want to do it as well on in Foundry. There's a rest long at the top right-hand corner of your character sheet.
Okay.
D&D Beyond is being weird. It won't let me edit my money. I have to figure out why. I wanted to keep it in sync.
It is a bit odd. So long as you keep track of it one place or the other, that's fine. I recommend keep track of it in Foundry just because it is easier, but it is up to you where you want to keep track of that.
When you do an import, though, it overwrites.
I don't have to. I can import just your skills. I don't have to import everything. So generally speaking, after the first 2 sessions, I'm not going to be importing equipment. I'm only going to be importing spells and skills just to refresh that, as well as any level-related stuff you get, any features.
Nice.
So yeah,
I'm trying to make Homunculus now. I have no idea how to make that appear.
Oh, it's a spell, or is it? What is it?
It's like a class ability. It's an item infusion. I can make a Homunculus.
Ah, so you can make
follows me
a
around?
creature. Okay, yeah, let me do that.
I just don't know how the hell to do that in this thing.
Well, it's easy. I just do this. Whack. And what I'll do is this token will...
I assume I have to add it to my sheet somewhere or something?
No, hang on. Let me do it this way instead. I'm going to delete that. I'm going to go into your characters where it says player characters. I'm going to add Homunculus there. Where it is?
I'll call him Sparky.
Sure. Let me just give you full control over that. Configure limited for everyone else. And then Tom, you are a proud owner of your own Homunculus there. So now you can go under characters or actors, go to player characters, you will see a Homunculus there, and you can just drag it onto the screen next to you, and it should show up for you, and you'll be able to move it around.
Player characters, Homunculus. What the hell is that thing? All right.
Do you see it, and are you able to drag it onto the screen?
Yeah, I put it near me. Yeah. It's tiny, construct, neutral. Okay, cool. I gotta give it stuff. It has bite. I don't think it's supposed to have attacks, though. I don't really know.
No, they do have attacks. Like, every creature has a little bit of stuff it can do. It's literally just a small construct. So you can use it for combat if you want. These are directly from D&D Beyond, effectively, that pulls its stats in. So,
Yeah, Sparky.
So I'll let you play around and edit it as you want. And what I'll do later is update some of its settings to make sure no one can mess around with it or do anything else. But effectively, every time, like, depending on what you want it to do, you will have to drag it onto the screen with you, or just remind me and I'll do it for you. Does anyone else want to do anything with their downtime?
I'm good here.
I'm okay.
I'm good.
All right.
So I gotta figure out how much health it has now.
Default starts off with 5 hit points.
1 plus your intelligence modifier, plus your artificer level.
Yeah, so you can edit it and then update it that way. Like everything else, you can make changes. All right, so you have completed basically the first portion of the quest for finding out what's happening to the dragon. You went to the Kobold Ruins, through the sewers, and into some kind of strange lair of otherworldly creature. You can absolutely continue on that route. You can go back into the sewers, try to get back into that area and explore further, but that will eat up the rest of your charges for the helmets. Or you can explore further, traveling to one of the other locations on the Father Flame City map. You can talk to the vampires, you can talk to the druids, you can even wait for one of the wizards to show up and talk to them about what you found. It all depends on what you want to do.
You should go talk to the other groups.
Vampires and druids are the same area, if I remember correctly.
Where's the quest log?
The quest log... I've turned it
It's
off
like
so
a
it's hidden.
pen.
Yeah, it's a separate button. On the left-hand side, where you have a whole bunch of icons, it looks like a pen. If you click on that, you can press the
the
quest
bar's
log,
there.
and it is available for you. So right now you have Hunt the Grey Dragon is really the only thing, and you have Speak to Bishop Luna. And then you have a bunch of other people you can talk to as you like.
That bar's back.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
Is the bar back now for some odd reason? No,
I
I think
don't-
it's
I
only
don't
back
see
for
it.
the homunculus. For some odd reason, it has it, but no one else does.
I have it.
Do you? Okay, I don't know why it's doing that.
Let me refresh the page.
Yeah, I'm refreshing the page myself.
I guess I'll refresh the page too because I don't know.
Do you feel peer pressured into it?
No, but I want to make sure everything is working. Oh, now it is back, yeah. Nope. No, never mind. It's only back for, like, random people. Like, Shrade has it, but Kaleem doesn't, and Morden doesn't. And, yeah, no one else does.
Evasion somehow.
Gee,
It's back for NPCs, effectively. Fuck. Alright, whatever.
it doesn't work though.
Yeah, if it's back, but it's not doing anything, it's clearly not working correctly.
This may not even be for my character. It says Angrod Finway.
Yeah, it's for NPCs. You must have an NPC targeted somewhere. Like, NPCs have it, but players don't, which I don't understand why. So, you know, I'll have to reinstall and update the mod, see if it'll work. All right. So, where do you want to journey? We're gonna load up the map again, so you can go from there to any area that you prefer. Do you want to go to the orphanage, or do you want to go directly to the Druid Grove?
Orphanage on the way.
Yeah. Alrighty.
What's going on at the orphanage?
There's one
There's
of the
not
people-
nothing.
It's part of the main quest that we still have.
We were going to talk to somebody there.
The
Whose name
lich,
is completely escaping me.
Sorak.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, we still have the main quest hunt for the Great Dragon where we have to speak to Sorak, Basil, Reslin, Akkad.
Yeah.
All right. So the next day, after you spend some time recovering, shopping, doing your own thing, basically the next day in the morning, you get up, get ready to go after some breakfast, and head over to effectively the Sorak's orphanage, as it's called. It's generally called the orphanage, period, but Sorak is the prime founder of the orphanage. He literally just shells out vast sums of money to keep it running and takes in children and mostly just children from either the unfortunate, orphaned, or just randomly teleported children into the city. He just takes everybody in, helps them out as best he can, and then once they have grown a bit that they can handle themselves, they've given some basic equipment and sent out into the world. And quite often they make a good living for themselves and can often contribute funds as they, go through life. So it takes you quite a few hours to get there, about 3.5 hours to get to the orphanage, just through the vast amount of people in the area. And the orphanage itself is a large building. It's actually a compound on its own, but it is massive. It is a very large, ornate building that has guards at the front, and you can see that they have uniforms, like they've got swords, bucklers, like just small target shields for their arms outside the front gates. But they also have servants that just wander around, kind of taking care of children. Some of them are like obvious nannies, others what appear to be tutors, and they go in and out of this building. And this building is huge. It looks like it's actually 3 adjoining buildings, kind of like connected at various levels. It has stone walls and is about 5 stories tall. Like it's massive. From what you can see, the different sections of the building can probably house anywhere from a few hundred children to maybe even 1,000 children. That's how big the place is. And you can obviously hear children coming in from one of the smaller entrances and running around the building into the main entryway, and also just playing in what appears to be a courtyard somewhere deeper in the building itself. You see quite a few haggard individuals just kind of like walking around as they get just harassed by small children. They're like, hey, buy me some candy, some food. And they just, obviously they're keeping an eye on these kids, but these kids are just harassing them to get what they want, like any good children with their either parents or handlers. And it is a strange change. Many of you are not used to having even the idea of an orphanage in your world, because children, if they don't have parents, they're on their own. They're beggars. They're unwanted. But it seems like most of them find a home here or are brought here to get them out of the poverty and just the streets themselves. And they look like they're well cared for. They're well fed. They've got actual clothes, actual shoes, and they're acting like tiny human beings for the most part.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, it's surprising. Very surprising. All right, now listen, Tom, you can only have one. You can't have multiple.
No, man, this stuff's not working. I lost all my data in the last one. I don't know.
Oh, it didn't transfer over? Hang on.
So can you blow one of them up? I don't know. I'll have to figure it out afterwards. Not a big deal.
Yeah, hang on. Let me copy it from the other room.
Some of the according to this, it needs different like skills and stuff that are programmed in, so I'll have to like change it.
Okay, I'll pull it from D&D Beyond. I'll see what's there and make it or not. Just if you want to send me what you're looking to make it for, I'll make a permanent token for it. That way it doesn't change every time you drag it over.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'll do it afterwards. I'll make it afterwards. For now, we'll just not worry about it.
Okay. I'll just reassign it to the... Oh, no, it's not reassigned. Okay, cool. It's the same thing.
It exists. That's all I need.
Yeah.
I'm being attacked again. I'll be right back.
All right. So as you approach the orphanage, it is a large, ornate building, and there is a flow of traffic kind of going in and out. It looks like it's mostly tutors or people affiliated with the building itself. How do you want to approach it?
Maybe with a hello. Try to be friendly.
Yeah, you absolutely could. You can just come by to one of the guards and say hi.
Hello, we're looking for... I'm sorry, I forgot the name again.
Sorak.
We're looking for Sorak.
The guard nods. He's like, yes, the owner's in. How may I assist you, or what is? Why are you looking for him?
We come from the tower where we wanted to ask him some questions.
Okay, yeah, no problem. He looks at the little piece of paper from the towel, the writ. He goes, yeah, okay. Well, if you head in, there's a little desk just a little bit further from the main entryway. Just let them know that you're here to see the owner and present any paperwork and information you might have, and they'll pencil you in if he's available. Like, it depends on the urgency and what's going on.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's like, absolutely, yeah. Glad to help. And he gives you that encouraging smile, like, it's all right. Everything is going to be okay. And you're like, I don't know. This guy seems shady as fuck. He's too helpful. That's kind of weird.
Yeah, and I feel like we're all just awkward as shit around kids. We're like, small child, what are you doing?
Basically, yeah. It's kind of freaky and weird. All right, so you're able to walk into the orphanage, and yeah, as he said, like, there's a little desk not too far from the main entryway that looks like it's actually staffed by a professional. Like, it's not just like some random person just sitting there. It looks like there are two professional sitting there. One is an elder elf with like these strange glasses, and one appeared to be some kind of surly dwarf that's sitting almost like on a high chair with how the desk is. And the elf is looking down. It's like, yes, we have these appointments, this appointment, as he's talking to the dwarf. And then the dwarf is like, yes, I can see the schedule. Quit harassing me about it. I wrote it. And as they kind of talk back and forth, there's children that kind of run through. And as they run through, you can see the elf kind of like looks over at the child and like looks back at his paperwork and like doing whatever. You can see that there is almost like a little waiting area here where there's small chairs for people to sit in, but they appear to be empty. You're the only ones here that aren't children or like staff that are walking by. How do you want to talk to, and who do you want to talk to?
Well, I guess we should approach the front desk person.
Okay, yeah, there are two people there, an elf and a dwarf. Who do you want? Which one of them do you want to talk to?
Can we kind of address both? No, I was gonna say, can we address both of them?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, I guess address both of them in common and state that we're looking to speak. We're from the tower, and we're looking to speak to. Oh my gosh, I forgot his name again.
Sorak.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I'm bad at life.
Yeah, that's fine.
More like I'm bad at names. If we can speak to Sorak, and we'll show him our writ from the tower.
Okay. Yeah, the two people there, like the elf kind of looks at you, like all of you as a group, looks at the writ, goes, one moment. And he like takes the writ and like gives it a better glance, and the dwarf kind of looks at you and goes, I swear we get these every few months. It's as if, is there like a list, like people to harass all the time? The master's busy.
What do you mean? People come by do people come by every few months from the tower?
He's like, yes, they just keep asking weird questions. I don't know why the master gets bothered so much, or if there's like, we have a list of people that we want to annoy all the time. Please inconvenience these following individuals. And then, they just like his name at the very top.
What kind of questions do they ask when they come around?
The dwarf kind of shrugs, like, I don't know, I'm not the master. I've got my own things to do. And he sees, like, as he says that, there's like a child that's like sprinting down the hallway, and the dwarf kind of stands up, looks over, and just starts screaming, "No running in the halls!" And you see a vein just start bulging on the side of his head that kind of starts popping from his forehead and goes all the way down to his neck, and it's just pulsating like when he's doing that. And you see the child like skid to a stop, look over, like blow a raspberry, and like dash away. The dwarf's like, "Oh, that does it!" Like he kicks off the chair and starts sprinting after this kid, like deeper into the building. And as you see that, the elf kind of like glances at him and goes, "Ah, every time," and just keeps looking up. He gives you the writ back and says, "Well, very well. Like, if you go in on the left-hand side, there is a door." And the elf kind of looks at you, Kalium, and smiles and goes, "Yes, he probably will. I can't wait," in Elvish. And he says, "Go all the way up to the highest floor. It's on the 4th floor. You can't miss it. There's this massive door, and you just knock on it and go right in. You should be fine. He doesn't have any visitors at this hour. You should have no issues getting in."
Thank you for your assistance.
Yes, he nods. He's like, "Best of luck to you. Hopefully you'll find what you're looking for."
I hope so too.
All right. Let's switch to this. I don't think there's any other music playing at the moment.
No, you're good.
All right, cool. All right, so you go up, and as you go through the building, you look around. There's tons of people. It's literally 4 floors, and it looks like there's classrooms in different areas. There's definitely some kind of place with cooking, because you can just smell the good home-cooked, like hearty food, like peasant food, just being made somewhere. And you hear either periodically, like either laughter of children, or just, you know, kids being kids and adults kind of trying to handle them appropriately. Right. As you head up, I will activate the scene.
Ooh.
And I will load
Nice.
all of you into it. Blup, 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 and blup. I'm not going to drag the homunculus into it, because why?
Nah, don't worry about it. Just leave it like it's there, but don't worry about it, you know?
Yeah, for now. Once
Let's not, like, have it unless we use it or something. I don't know. It'll also be a pain.
Yeah, right now it's kind of pointless for just general interaction. Alright, I'm gonna turn that off.
It's a
Get
bird,
more
so
water
it's-
while
it's
you
a nice
do that.
Yeah. There's some things that bug me, and I can't wait for universal token control, which will be fucking awesome. Alright, so we'll give it a second. Can everyone see the scene?
Yeah, it's
Yep.
in a library room or something.
Yeah. So you are in a very ornate library. Once you go up to the 4th floor and knock on these large double doors, they open very quietly, almost no real sound. And as you walk in, the room itself is a large, very well-appointed library. There's books almost everywhere. They're stacked often from the very floor up to about halfway to the ceiling, just like leaning casually on these massive bookshelves that are just as high. They go up as high as you can see. The room itself is maybe 15 feet high, just from the floor to the ceiling, and it's just bookshelves and columns just all over the place. Some columns are made of marble, some are of this weird, dense stone that you're not terribly familiar with, and the bookshelves are made of mahogany, which is a very expensive wood from most of your places. It's rare, and it's well polished, very well loved. You see a large desk in the center of the room, and there are scrolls and just books just all over the place. Make a perception check, because you don't really see the owner anywhere at the moment.
I'm distracted with all the books.
Kaleem and Tobin are just distracted by the books and the smell of the library. Eliana, you and Morden notice that there's a large center book, like, on this desk, and it has, like, these glowing runes, and there's almost like a spiral of light that glows out of it. And that's kind of what's distracting you, because behind the book, with his eyes closed and kind of like slumped into a chair, is an older looking drow. And let me just pop him up so you can see who it is. NPCs. Here he is. Here, let's show you that. So it is a fairly older man, looks to be a drow with white flowing hair and this red, almost crimson-like cape that surrounds him. He's fairly tall, about 6.5 feet tall, even sitting. And it does seem like he's sitting in a fairly odd way. It just looks very funny to you from your perspective. He looks to be a venerable gentleman, with really well-tailored robe. It has white trace of lace as a trim. He has white gloves on his hands and can be seen with an actual monocle, which you're a little unused to, just sitting in his head, covering his left eye. And he seems to be almost asleep until you get a little bit closer, and then you just see him take a deep breath of air. And then kind of shake himself a little as waking up. And then he looks over at all of you and goes, "Oh, visitors. How may I help you?" And yes, he does have his own text command, so if you click on him, different things will spread out.
We're coming from the tower. We were summoned to help with the problem with the dragon. We were wondering if you could give us any information on the dragon.
He goes, yes. Well, you've come quite far, and sure, I can tell you a few things about dragons. How much time do you have to listen to this old man's ramblings? And he smiles, and you're like, yeah, all right. I don't know.
All right, Gramps, you got jokes.
He says, all right, well, you may wander around the library as I talk. It's been a while since anyone's asked me of dragons. And you see his eyes kind of almost roll to the back of his head as he's like deep in thought. He says, it's been 500, maybe 700 years. It's quite hard to kind of remember the details. Back when I was young, much, much younger than I am now, it was a smaller, I don't know, maybe younger adult dragon that attacked my family homestead. Unfortunately, it got there before I was back at full strength, because I was adventuring previously, and it killed my family. I did manage to escape, and ultimately I got vengeance on that stupid beast. And he smiles this smile. You're like, oh, that's nice, and then it just gets a little creepier, and you're like, oh, that's very, very strange. That's a very big smile with way too many teeth, and they're way too white, and I really don't like this. I really don't like this. As Sorak is lost in his memory for a minute or so. And then he shakes it off and goes, right, dragons. But beyond that, I really haven't encountered any in the length of my life. There's, of course, plenty of dragonborn. They're around. You can see their children in the offices downstairs. I don't have any enmity to the little bastards that share the bloodline of that black dragon. But a full-grown dragon of that size? I've honestly never heard of it. Dragons have always been fairly rare in this land, and from my memory and from everything I've learned, they have all but gone extinct. From my understanding of it, no one's seen a full-grown dragon in eons. The last one I saw was almost sickly by comparison to this, and small. And it was still 100 feet from head to tail, but this one is much bigger, much more powerful, and honestly, I don't know how it lived so long under the ground. They're not known for that. If there are any dragons left, they're probably holdouts that exist in isolated environments, somewhere on the fringes of civilizations. They do live a much longer time than humans or elves, and they can subsist on almost anything. They do like to conquer and hoard wealth, but you'd hear about it. Like, they don't kill everyone, you'd be survivors. And I've heard nothing. Perhaps the elves or vampires would know more, as they keep longer records. And from what I heard, the last sightings, besides my own encounter, were with the last war between the elves and... No, just the elves. The Elven Civil War was the last time I've heard of elves and dragons being seen in one place. Now, I'm sure it's not it's a coincidence that, if you don't see an elf, you don't see a dragon, and when you see a dragon, sometimes you see an elf. Purely coincidence, probably. But the last I've heard of active dragons was during the Elven Civil War, and that was perhaps 10,000 years ago. So a long time. So as he rambles and goes over it, and as you guys walk around the room and kind of look at different things, you do see that the books are in all shapes and sizes, and they're just, some of them are hazardly stacked. There's also several banners displayed around the room. Some are old and decaying, but others are more recent. One of the better kept banners appears to be a stylized shield, sword, and a harp. None of the other symbols appear to have any special meaning, but that one is a little new. At the back of the room, at the back of the room.
What does the symbol mean?
He asks, which one?
The one you just mentioned, I'm sorry.
Yeah, so the better kept symbol, and let me paste it in chat. And goes, he smiles as he looks at it. He goes, yes, that is the symbol of my granddaughter, or a niece, really. She's quite talented, great bard. She's traveling around in some really interesting company these days and have helped me with my revenge. And he smiles again with that smile that has way too many teeth and is just way too white.
It helps with his revenge?
Oh yes, against the dragon. I mean, I killed it way back in the day, but there's something about tormenting your, well, let's just say the leftovers of the body, the soul, if you will, that really strikes an old man's heart. And he pats his chest.
Can you elaborate?
He starts talking, and you can make me a knowledge arcana. And Colleen, anyone who has knowledge arcana...
I do not. Can I do an intelligence?
Yes.
Cool. Insight, maybe?
No, intelligence.
Intelligence. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm trying to find it.
It's okay.
It's not a save.
No, it's not a save. So if you go through, it's an intelligence roll. You just have to click on the intelligence itself.
Okay, I see. Thank you. I'm still kind of derpy sometimes.
It's okay. So, you have no idea what he's talking about. Khalib, he starts sprouting out these arcane equations that you also can't follow. Tobin, on the other hand, with Arcana of 20, he starts talking about using the remains of a dragon, usually the bones, and obscure arcane rituals dealing with necromancy and consumption of souls that really only pertain to very specific domains of the dead that you're not terribly familiar with that interact in a funny way on this plane of reality. And the thing that it just kind of, it's horrifying in one way because it's tormenting a soul that should have passed on but wasn't able to, that he says in this really happy manner, and to you you're like, oh, that sounds horrifying. It's like, it's a truly terrible thing to do. And you're the only one that really registers what he's talking about with your high roll on Knowledge Arcana.
Okay.
Yeah, the pieces of how it's done don't make any sense because you just don't have enough knowledge of the arcane. But the basic of you take a soul, you extract the soul juice, you put it into a thing, torment. You're like, oh God, that sounds awful.
My thing keeps freezing up on me. It's not good.
Let me turn off the music. Sometimes the music does funny things. Are you using Chrome or do something else?
This is Edge. I'm not sure why. It wasn't doing it before. Like, every once in a while, it freezes. Weird.
Alright, I turned off the music. You might just need to refresh.
Would it be possible to use a piece of the dragon to do spells?
Yes. Generally speaking, dragons themselves as creatures are incredibly powerful components for magic. Even a dragon tooth or claw can be used in various rituals.
Could you use a dragon egg?
Oh, yes. Those are very useful. They're very rare. From my studies, and admittedly, I haven't been able to really do anything with dragon eggs, but through just study and hints in books and just long research into various arcane disciplines, it's possible to either extract the soul of a young dragon or to use that soul to influence the parent. But it's not an easy thing. Dragons in this existence, and he gestures to the area around, they're not the same as in other worlds. And he kind of looks at all of these like, you may or may not be familiar to dragons in your world. They usually have clutches of eggs. So they have multiple eggs. In this reality, each dragon can only have one egg, and they're effectively reborn into that egg every time they die. So it's almost like the same dragon over and over again with just slight variants of personality. So if you do something to that egg, it is possible to do something with the dragon as it comes back, but it's not guaranteed. The dragon can always abandon the old egg and hatch a new egg. It's a strange process, and I've only ever stumbled in a few writings.
So to make sure that I'm clear on this, you can influence the dragon before it's reborn in its egg?
It's possible. However, I've never been able to experiment on one. It would have been great if I had that little bastard. And then he shakes it off for the obvious memory of the dragon killing his family, still influencing him years and decades and perhaps centuries past it. And he says, it is possible, but I have never been able to do so, and I don't know anyone who has, for it isn't a thing that's given or shared easily. He looks vaguely at a book that you show Kaliam, and he goes, I don't know if dragon eggs can talk. I've certainly never experienced it, but I've never found a dragon egg. It's possible, but certainly not out of the realm of possibility, but I doubt it. Younger dragons are typically stupid. They are mostly just hungry little beasts, devoid of too much intelligence. Kind of like a dog, maybe a little smarter. Until they grow. The more they grow, the more powerful and the smarter they get. And they usually do so quickly. But talking? No, I doubt it. Possibly something else.
Do you think about the dragon bursting from the ground and spreading this poison fog?
He looks at you when you say that and he goes, I have heard of it. I have seen the dragon fly out, but he was too far away for me to do anything about, and I was more concerned with protecting my children. And he kind of gestures to the orphanage itself. He says, but even with my power, I could maybe have fought the dragon, but I don't know if I would have won. At the size of the dragon and how old it looked, it could have done a lot more damage. To me, it looked like it was busy fleeing rather than fighting. Anything that came off it, like the poison fog, well, it's a corrupting substance for sure, but I haven't delved too much into it. It's below my notice.
Do you think the dragon could have been corrupted in some way, shape, or form?
It's possible. He doesn't know. He'd need to examine the dragon itself, or an object from the dragon. And he just doesn't have one. He nods at Kalim when you say thank you.
I think of anything else that might be.
Yeah, does anyone else have any questions for him?
Yeah, sorry, I've been kind of dominating.
No, you're good. You're asking important questions.
Trying.
Does anyone else have any questions? The dead silence will tell me no. All right.
I mean, I kind of led the last one, so I'm letting someone else do this one.
Well, fair enough. If you have anything to ask, you can ask him. If you don't have anything to ask, well, you don't have anything to ask. Tarek does ask if there's anything else, or if he can help you in any other way.
I do have one more question.
Certainly, young lady. And he kind of squints and he's like he's not sure.
Your secretaries up front, they mentioned that you often get visitors from the tower. I was wondering why they would, why? I'm gonna try and smile.
Yeah, he says that he has been around for quite a while. He's lived many lifetimes. He's seen many things. He just knows a lot of stuff, honestly. That's why people come to him and talk to him. And he's always happy to help. Besides, the tower pays well, and it helps to maintain this place. And he again gestures to the library and to the children that are laughing.
All right. Just wondering if they had any particular questions they wanted to ask you.
He says, not in quite some time. Some of them do seem nervous when they visit, and he smiles. And all of you can make a perception check one more time.
I wonder why that is.
Yeah.
Let's go. Bitches.
Yeah. With a 23, you actually do notice something. While everyone else, that's 3 out of 4. Who else didn't roll? Tobin.
I'm trying.
Is it not rolling perception for you?
Every once in a while, so I gotta wait for it to kick in.
Okay, well, I'll just describe what 23 gets you, or above a 20 rather. So
I'm going.
No worries. Yeah, there it goes. 15, not bad. So again, if you roll below 20, he just seems like a harmless old man. Mm-hmm. Liana, as you look at him more, you realize that he's not like sitting as normal people sit. He's just like floating. He's actually floating above the chair, and he's got this smile that shows too many teeth. And when he smiles, it almost looks like it's almost like an illusion of a face over his face. And when the mouth opens, it looks like it looks off. Like there's something ain't right with that. But it's really hard to notice because it's a magical construct rather than like anything normal.
So, do I realize I'm looking at a magical construct?
No. What I'm saying is his appearance is a magical construct.
That's curious.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to figure out what to do with this information.
I mean, you don't have to do anything. Sometimes just an extra piece of information to go forward with.
Well, this guy also seems like he's vaguely sketchy. So.
And terrifying.
Yeah, that too.
All right. If there's nothing else, Sorg does say that he does have work to do. Always got to study more, and there's plenty of paperwork to be done to maintain this.
Of course.
My little slice of heaven.
Don't let us interrupt you.
No,
Thank you for your time.
And then he does like a little sweeping gesture out of the room, and you almost feel yourself pulled out of the room against your will. Like something just grabs you and like, drags you out. As all four of you are just pulled out of the room and the doors close. All right. Do you want to go to the... where is it? To the World Tree and the Druids.
Yeah.
Yep, sounds good.
All right.
I wanted to ask someone about Soraka one time, like, what the fuck?
Yeah, you'll be able to do that soon enough. All right, I will plop you in here. Wah. All right, so you arrive at the World Tree.
I'll tell everyone now that we're gone. A little bit before we arrived here, like a little bit disturbing, but he was talking about a ritual where you pull the souls out of people using dragon bones, and shoot, I forgot what the whole thing was. No.
Wow. The effect is necromancy.
Yeah, you're using leftover dragon bones and mortal souls to create necromancy and bring things back to life.
Is that like what they were doing in the sewers?
I have no idea. It's something to consider, though.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, I'll drink under the table scrub.
All right. So, as you discuss this amongst yourself from your walking, you do take another hour or so to arrive at what appears to be a massive tree that is growing out of the city. And this thing is huge, towering above all other structures with the exception of the main tower of Father Flame. The canopy is just so wide that it blocks out the sun almost for the entire block. But the tree itself, once you get close to it, it almost seems like a park with tons of people, children running around, and people just having just general campouts like in the vicinity. There's a pathway leads up to the tree itself with what appears to be a priest and a druid standing almost a little bit side by side, conducting different rituals, offering prayer, and healing to anyone that comes by if they need to. And there's just people walking around and doing things. And you may click in and wander around as you like. You also do see an actual werewolf apparently talking to some lady. And she is just like berating it. It's like, I can't believe you ripped another shirt. We've talked about this, Dave. You have to fix your own shirts. I'm tired of sewing them for you every time you transform.
That's epic.
Yeah, and there's just a whole bunch of different conversations.
This place is pretty busy. I don't even know where to go.
Hey, you got lots of opportunity. Remember who you want to talk to with your quest.
I have to look again.
I don't see the quest displayed anymore, so.
You have to go to the quest log and then open it up.
Basil Brightlace. It's where the druid go, right?
Yes.
Okay, so we're looking for Basil Brightlace.
And you may move your characters around.
Oh, was it Brightleaf? This priest seems to be standing behind a desk. Let's ask him.
Yeah, all right. So there's a priest
So-
kind of standing around, and he asks if he may help you.
Yes, could we speak to Basil Rightly?
He goes, oh, certainly. He should be flying around. You really can't miss it. He is a fairly slight creature. He's a fairly slight creature, just flittering around. He's a bit of a fae, so you'll have to spot him flying around in the area.
Flying around?
Yeah. You'll have to hunt him down on the map. Shouldn't be
Not the
hard.
time to talk necromancy. Well, I see him right there, so...
Yeah, you do manage to notice Basil eventually. He seems to be talking to some kind of tiefling and perhaps a dwarf merchant, and they seem to be talking loudly about either a play or some kind of performance that happened recently. And you just hear Basil going, yes, I'm sure the singer was very nice, but my ears, by comparative to yours, are just much more sensitive. And what he was singing about was very offensive to my family. I mean, sure, the flowers might not seem like anything important to you, but to me, they're like my children, and he was insulting them. I mean, the blood should not flow for flowers. That's not how that works. It's madness. And then he seems to be getting worked up, and then he sees you approach, and he kind of quiets down a little and looks over. As you come up and look at him, he seems to be a fairy male with green eyes, a tan complexion, and straight, dull orange hair, which is worn fairly short. He's fairly muscular for his size and wears a pair of trousers, a billowing silk shirt, and a pair of boots. He also wears a short coat, a sun visor, and a jeweled pendant around his neck. And he seems to be a little frivolous about his description of both the environment and just who he's talking to. And let me pull up. Nope. There we go. His artwork. And this is how he looks. Mind you, he's only about 8 to 10 inches tall. He's a tiny fairy.
Badass.
Yeah.
Looks like the offspring of Tinkerbell and Peter Pan.
Yeah, who will stab the shit out of you with his wooden sword. But he does notice you approach and kind of looks over at you, and his guests, or the people that he was talking to, kind of look around and go, oh, excuse us, this must be business. And they begin to wander off shortly after. And yeah, so now you have time to talk to Basil as you need to. Do you actually say toothpick of a sword?
It's a what?
No.
Okay. Morden, do you take out a fly swatter or try to?
No.
Okay.
With that real bad, man.
that would end in a funny way. But yeah, Basil kind of looks over at you and flies near and goes, oh, aren't you a funny group of people? What can I do for you?
Unless they go for this one. I think you go. You haven't done anything yet.
What the hell? Why won't this load? I'm going to have to reload my own page. What the hell? Okay, so yeah, you show the writ, and Basil looks over and goes, interesting. So you seem to be summoned from the tower. How may I help you?
tell us about the dragon?
Yes, well, sure. Let me pull that up. Hang on. He looks over at Clint and goes, "Oh, interesting." He's like, "All right, sure, yeah, I'll tell you what I know." He says that in general, dragons are old and powerful beings, usually great wisdom and intelligence. However, the last one I saw, or I heard of, was 10,000 years ago or so. We don't really know where they are or what happened to them, but we assume they've left for other planes. Yes, the Elven Civil War, give or take. They keep changing the dates on us because they use their own calendar, so it gets a little funny at times. But the rumors of them do prop up now and again, doing stuff, destroying a village. I mean, usually that's bandits, but you never know. Sometimes you gotta investigate. The druids of the Lycanthrope Confederation have been trying to find the older dragons to talk to them, as they have some questions to ask. Don't ask me what questions, I don't know, and it's not my business, but, they do like to talk a lot, and they have some questions they want to discuss. Dragons are ancient, and the older they are, the more they know, and they do know a lot of mysteries about the world that we just need to find out. The old mist, or the odd mist, I suppose, it looks old to me, but, everything looks old to me. You look ancient, positively, but then again, you are very small. And yes, he does say you are very small as he looks at you when he is 10 inches and you are much bigger than him.
Interesting.
He has never heard of eggs talking. That seems odd. Are you sure you haven't hit your head on a wall? Eggs don't talk. That's weird. He does say that the poison mist that enveloped the dragon, that is troubling. Because not even wind and strong gusts of wind have dispelled it. We have to use some stronger magic. And it gets dangerous because if it's not properly controlled, it would just destroy buildings and roofs and vegetation. And it's not healthy for all of us. But we've managed to drive it out. Let's hope wherever the mist goes, it doesn't do any more damage. They have been working on an antidote, and it's getting close, but it's hard because it's not normal poisoning. But they're working on it. And he does say that if you're looking for the dragon, perhaps we can come to an understanding a bit. He looks at the book that you show him. He goes, "Well, that's puzzling. I've never known eggs to talk. But, well, who knows? And there are stranger things out there. If you could find that egg, we would be very happy. We would trade that egg to you for treasure, resources, money, gold, gems, whatever you want, really."
And what would you do with that egg?
Well, we talk to it. We want to know what's going on. And dragon eggs are rare. With any luck, if the dragon used that egg to renew itself, we'd be able to communicate and find out what happened. Dragons are powerful beings for law and order. Well, some of the time. It depends on what dragon. Some of them are just mean. But if you're willing to work with us, to help us, we'd be able to offer you rewards. He says, if it was a dragon egg, you don't know for sure. He says, if you're able to bring a sample of the dragon blood or one of its scales to the druids, it would greatly help us in making an antidote. If we can find the source of the fog, or at least what's happening and why it's coming from the dragon, we will provide you rewards for it. If you're willing to help us subdue the dragon, to help us cure it of whatever malady ails it, we have some rewards for you as well. And he gets closer to you and beckons for you to approach even closer and goes, "We even know a way home. It's a little dangerous, in a little bit of a trip, but we can get you home surer than the wizards." He kind of smiles and goes, "They seem to get lost a lot." Or if you can't do that, if you can find a safe way for us to commune with the dragon, or maybe even get to its lair, we will also help you with lesser rewards, but still enough to help. So, all right. So that was his speeches, and let's review what people wrote. Once you mentioned, Kaleem, of creature made of worms, Basil was discussing because worms are gross, but a creature made of them? I haven't heard of anything, but I can ask around. He may be the source of the fog in that area, but it doesn't explain the fog in other places. There might be remnants of scales in different places that generate the fog. The creature you speak of might just be powering the main area, the continual fog around the Colosseum. Even just knowing the source of the enchantment would help. What do we do with what? Kaleem, so you wrote, what would you do with it? With what?
The dragon egg.
Oh, well, they'll try to cure whatever's happening to the dragon and fix the fog. To your question, Tobin, for the fog can be generated from pieces of the dragon, possibly either from its blood or from the scales. Whatever is affecting the dragon is likely the cause of this.
Do you have any idea as to what could be ailing the dragon?
It's from what he can tell and from the conversations he's been part of, it's likely a poison of some sort, maybe an infection. But without having a blood sample or getting closer to the dragon, they really can't tell.
Of course.
Would you mention, Kaleem, a way home? That sounds lovely. He says, yes, our way is very interesting. I think you'll enjoy it. I certainly enjoy the trip. We go into the Feywilds, and after that is just a short walk, skip, and a jump, and then poof, home you go. But Sorak, he has this funny little saying every time we do this. He goes, and you can hear Basil moderating his tone to sound deeper, but it still sounds like a pip squeak, basically. He goes, for the last time, Basil, you're not sending people home. You're just feeding adventures to creatures in the Feywilds. He always has this funny saying, but I have no problems getting home and coming here. It's kind of weird.
Mm.
Huh.
Do you have clues on where the dragon went?
Freaking thing's trying to kill us.
Different options from different people.
Dicks.
Basil does say anyway, that, yes, the dragon headed south. I watched it fly there, but it did get obscured after some time. I can only see so far. It looks like it was heading towards the Elven lands, but, it wasn't exactly flying in a straight line. Why is this not opening? Wow, everything's so buggy today.
Yeah, for some reason mine just decided to kind of turn itself off, turn itself back on, it seemed. Thankfully my whole computer didn't turn itself off and on.
Yeah. It's a little weird. Little buggy things today.
Yeah.
Alright, so Morden, when you bring up hang on a second, so I gotta go back. So, Kaleem, when you say, do you think it could be a remnant from the Elven Civil War back to seek revenge for carrying out its last mission? Basil ponders for a moment and goes, that doesn't seem right. The Elven Civil War was a long time ago, but keeping a dragon under the city? That doesn't sound right. It's almost impossible. The city stone is very dense, and the ground is very hard to dig. Someone would have known that they dug a massive hole, put a giant dragon into it, and then, why hold it for so long? It doesn't make any sense. Besides, there was lots of people of all different kinds and all different powers in the area. They would have seen something happening. I really doubt that was the case. Still, it's a good thought. Maybe, but I doubt it. Morden, to your reply for the clan that was hunting children, Basil ponders for a moment and goes, yes, that does sound familiar. A while back, several months ago, we've noticed that children were getting kidnapped, even some from Sorak's orphanage, but from wider in the city as well, and we were investigating. A group of adventurers were sent out into the sewers, and they discovered that kobolds made a nest under the world tree, under the roots, and they were kidnapping children for some reason or another. You know how these go. Just get caught up in some madness, sacrifice a few people for, some deities and somewhere, or, your queen decides that she wants a snack. Little things. Either way, we got a few of them out. A few didn't make it, but he kind of swings back and forth when he says that. But that's how sometimes these things happen, and I am very sorry about that. Not as sorry as their parents, of course, but but that did stop. Don't know what else happened. Kalim, you say, so you think it was someone underground to have it burst out of the ground? He doesn't know. He doesn't know if it's possible to summon dragons. Ileana, you know that kobolds worship dragons as deities in many ways, and they tried, if a dragon finds a kobold tribe, kobolds basically start worshiping and serving the dragon as servants and slaves. So it's very likely that if the kobolds found anything, they would have absolutely just done whatever the dragon wanted. Or even if someone was impersonating the dragon, they would have done what that being was doing or asking them to.
If the egg was really a dragon, or somebody just preying on their devotion.
Could be. He doesn't know. He doesn't remember any kobolds being kept prisoner. He doesn't remember some kind of assault on something, but that was orchestrated by the Great Tower, by the wizards. So maybe.
Maybe we need to ask the wizards a few more questions.
All right, does anyone have any questions? For him or for anyone else? Why is the quest log being so funky today? Sorry, what?
Jules is supposed to win, no?
He answered it.
Oh, I'm behind. This thing's popping up slowly then.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. It's being really buggy today.
I think it's my browser, man.
I don't think it's your browser, because I can't open the quest log right now, because he has a quest that he can offer you, but it just won't let me do anything. Hang on, maybe if I reload the whole thing. No.
I just lost my update, probably. You son of
Yeah,
a bitch.
I tried to force it to reload, and it doesn't do anything. Okay. We're going to call it here, because it's being really buggy for some odd reason. We'll pick up next time. But basically, Basil offers you at least 3 different options for a quest. He asks that you are, if you're capable, provide a sample of the dragon's blood or one of its scales to help them create an antidote for the mist and for the poisoning that's happening to the people of the city.
How are we going to get that?
His
if you're willing to help the
Just 'cause
druids, if you find where the dragon is, if you help the druids subdue the dragon, they will heal it or try to their best to heal it. If you do that, they'll offer you a way home and anything your heart desires within their power, basically. Or if you can't do that, if you can find a way to safely communicate with the dragon or its lair, or talk to within its lair, let them know, and they will also give you a proportionate reward for that as well. And I will turn that quest log on for you guys as a thing whenever I can, because it's not fucking letting me do anything today. Just being really buggy.
Okay.
All right.
All right, we'll keep that quest in our back pocket.
Yep.
Yes.
I'll turn it on as soon as I can get back into the quest log, but I might need to reboot everything and just close out and reopen, which I'm not looking forward to doing, but you know. All right. Anyone have any other questions?
Not at the moment.
Okay.
Shall we regroup back at the tower?
Yeah. We'll actually pause here and we'll pick up on your journey back to the tower. There'll be some stuff going on then, plot-wise. If you have any questions or have anything that comes up, feel free to post it in game chat or in Discord. If you want to sell something that you think you want to sell, by all means, do the same thing there. Or if you're looking to buy anything, put that into the above table portion. That way I can, mark it up and send you the stuff for it. Because I don't want to take up in-game time trying to buy and sell shit when we don't need to. All right.
Sounds good.
All right, sounds good. I will post the link to the video for the live stream in the chat, and I'll do a little summary on the website that I will also post or start posting links to. That way you guys can see it.
Awesome.
All right.
Thanks.
Yeah, thank you very much. If you can figure out anything you want me to do or do better at, please provide feedback. I am always looking forward to that. Otherwise, have a wonderful day.